Whoa! What's up, everybody? It's future player JDK here once again. 3 weeks later, but you wouldn't know, right? My future audience, y'all watch this back to back to back, I'm sure. Especially you investigative journalists out there. So I figured I'd make an update, seeing as it is the 31st, leading into the 1st, 2019. And I don't know if you can hear it in the background or not, so I just left it on. But it's X Japan, if you're curious. Phenomenal band. Still current, but I'd say, top-notch 80s, big time in the 80s, 90s for sure. So we'll start off with New Year's, right? Because it's New Year's after all. So as far as I'm concerned, I really just wanted to share with everyone how I do it, which is I don't do it. Not to say I'm not going out as soon as I finish this video, because I am going downtown Seattle. Check out the Space Needle as it's pitch black outside. I feel like I live in Alaska, but also it's a clear night. So provided there's no shut-in coverage, cloud coverage, So, oh, that's good. Nice local. But me personally, I felt this is a good time for me to share with everyone. So here's what I do. I actually use my birthday as my personal celebration for every year. I feel like your birthday, when you're younger, you get presents and you celebrate and, you throw big parties and shindigs. And then, depending on what type of person you are, I've never really met too many people like me, but I really don't celebrate my birthday. In fact, I hardly even tell people it's my birthday. In fact, I'm probably the perfect candidate for a surprise party if anybody ever was one, right? That being said, though, I am a very, very, very introspective individual. I'm all about personal growth. I'm all about learning from your own ignorance and others, but more your own, So on my birthday every year, I take time to myself to retrospectively think about, everything that's happened that year before. Essentially, I hijacked New Year's Eve and decided to make it my birthday, which, that's so me, really. But, anyway, so that's what I do for my birthday. So that's not so much an update as a informative thing about me, since y'all don't really know, And if you do, then you knew. That being said, let's move on to improv. So Fridays did not go well, and I already mentioned that in the previous one, so I won't talk much more about that. But in the new year, I'm going to research more. I'm pretty sure I know who Lee is, but me personally, I'm going to start doing my own. If he's not doing it or if he's busy or etc., because there's no reason I shouldn't start doing it and having my name attached to it, really. So that is part of my intent for the New Year's improv. But I wanted to share something. So 2 weeks ago, I had the privilege, I went to my first Market Theater show, which is a performance from Unexpected Productions, which is a local improv troupe. And it was amazing. But what was really neat for me is I accidentally went to an all-girls show. And now, I'm not saying that, that's something special. What was special, though, is it was an actual improv show. In the past, I've been to improv shows with all-female cast, and they have been what I recently have deemed estrogen-based comedy. And that's not to say that's not okay, because it's totally fine. I mean, personally, I'm all about gender fluidity on stage, so I will gladly get pregnant. And in fact, the audience laughs more in a sense because I am a woman on stage, but also visually they know I'm a dude. But that's my whole point, right? And so the show was phenomenal, and I highly recommend checking them out. And it was a lot of fun. I wish I had more to say, but personally, I was going to write this review, write it out. And I did. I just never publish it because I'm really lazy when it comes to publishing my things if I'm not being paid. I really... something about not being paid that just makes me go, keep it to myself. Whatever. Alright. So I'm still on target to get on season 45, provided the audition is allowed. However, I am starting to believe heavily that that's one of those things that's going to have to take place sooner than later. As in, like, we're talking April, May. I'm fairly certain when they do that type of recruiting, no matter how tight-lipped Chris Red was about it, or anybody for that matter, I'm fairly certain they don't just they have to think about their decision if they do choose you. But I have every intent on getting on to season 45, and there's still, I want to say, 6, maybe more episodes left from this season, so I got time. Let's see. Oh, stand-up is still, it's on hiatus. It's not really like the city of Seattle's issue. It's more mine. There's the one mic that I was doing more frequently, and that one is definitely actually on hiatus for the next 2 weeks, or maybe just 1 week. I have to check in on that. Myself, though, I haven't actually sought out the other ones. I'll be perfectly frank. If Tacoma's fairly close to me if I was driving, or riding motorcycle. However, to transit down there and back without spending money on cab is nearly impossible. So, I will check it out though in the new year. And same goes for U District. I don't know why I haven't done that mic yet. That's actually a pretty bomb club from everything I've heard. I'm pretty sure I've done stand up there once or twice. I miss Giggles. It's a shame that Giggles went out, You don't know unless you know, and then you did know. Let's see. Oh, that being said, though, I am still writing my sketches. I am still staying true to what I said I would do. Every Sunday, I think of concepts. Every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I consider them. I practice pitching them, mainly to myself, because, nobody's watching me. Shout out Taryn Killam every time. I love you, Taryn. No, but the point is, I have been doing it. So I figured I'd share. There's one that I did recently. This week is just beginning, so that don't count. But the one that I did do was kind of silly, kind of fun. And it actually came out of an improv type thing. What do you figure, right? What it was, though, is basically it's a wife and a husband kind of thing, right? Or something along those lines, right? And they're in an audience, and then the person that's hosting the show or whatnot, it could be anything, Sally Jesse, whatever, Ellen, it doesn't matter. The point is that they're asking the audience for a ghost type story, right? Or an alien or like some type of supernatural type thing. And then they call on the wife, the husband, right? And she's like, oh, the other day, or it's been happening a few times, but the car magically locks and unlocks and the windows go up and down and, this and this and that. And then the husband just turns to her and is like, what? Like freaking out or something, like, you never told me that before, something like that. Like, what? My car? Our car? The car? Stuff like that. Times because, it's funny, So I wrote that one out and had some fun with it. I actually wrote it multiple times. It's the first time I've done something like that, which is pretty interesting to me. I've never really considered doing multiple different variations on the same sketch instead of doing what I've been doing, which is like 5 individual, and then writing down one. It give or take. I always finish one, but I've been kind of half writing them, see previous videos if you haven't already. Anyway, that was a pretty funny and fun one to work with. And the 2 different variations I did was one was a ghost type thing. Then the other one was actually like the husband, he's upset because he's like a more practical minded guy. And he's like, you fucking stupid, basically. But he doesn't say it, But it was an electronics issue with the car. And he was pissed more or surprised more that she hadn't mentioned it because she was thinking it was a ghost or something, so she didn't want to say it to him because it would be frivolous. But in reality, he knew it's an electrical issue, and so you know what I mean. Yeah, you get it. Cool. We're almost at 10 minutes. That's impressive, I must say. Still got a few more things to talk about, but let's try and keep it at 15 if we can manage it, right? Let's see. Oh, okay. So actually, for the most part, this is actually pretty easy. I didn't realize it because I had stringed it out. But the last thing I was going to do is talk about the next few months with you guys. Because, if you're following along, and even if you're not, when you do, you'll be like, oh shit, this guy actually fucking did what he said he would do. As I've said before, this is definitely much more of a video blog for myself, to keep myself on tack, you know, or tack myself. What do you call it? On track. I don't. What would you call it when it's like, you know, like holding myself to my own, you know, words? Yeah, you get what I'm saying. And if you, even if you don't, just play along, right? Nod and say yes. Uh, um. Anyway, so I am just gonna be perfectly honest. I mean, it's what I do best, other than not talking about these things, and then that's how you stay honest without, you know. But in my life, I play guitar a lot, and I'm not the worst, but I'm definitely nowhere near good. And that's mainly from not dedicating my time and effort and not really, you know, doing it. So that also applies to language. I have not done any language since I want to say maybe middle school, you know. Also, well, some in college, but really not, you know. And I really do want to pursue this, and I think it's going to help me. So that's another one. And then working out. Now that is one I have managed to do most of my life, except I've always been privy. So muscle memory is a real thing, but also muscular memory is a real thing. So in the past, when I was around, I would say 18, 19, I got incredibly in shape. So ever since then, I've had the privilege of not needing to do too much, that when I do small amounts or do increments of working out, then I get naturally back to where I was tone. But it's tone. See, I'm working now. I'm going to be building muscle. I'm going to be building mass. And then I'm also going to be going one step further. So I'm going to be doing more active yoga and more active meditation. I'm going to use this as a means for focusing more on being more organized with diet. And also, for some reason, no, they told me it would happen. Tastes change. So, you know, I'm eating less meat. It's weird. Not intentionally. I'm not trying to be a vegetarian. I'm an omnivore for life. I'm told otherwise. That being said, though, I'm gonna put workout is definitely, and then this one, other one, I'll mention at the end of it. So all of these was leading up to me explaining. I have set month dates because that way I have kind of like a general amount of time to get leading up to it. I intend to start as soon as tomorrow. Hell, as soon as tonight, but not really, because really, you come home at midnight, I'd come home at 1 in the morning, I get here at like 2:30, you know, just short of like, I don't know, shit ton of snow. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. JK, baby. JK. You know, future players, JK. Even if it is just K right now. You know, because Jay left. I have no fucking idea. He still hasn't gotten back to me. It's crazy. Fucking spent months on that motherfucker. Well, years if you count ever since we first met. Whatever. 2018's almost over. So anyway, I put guitar by August. That seemed practical because August is pretty far away, but it's still close enough. And my goal is essentially, when it comes to the guitar, to be able to play at least 2, maybe 3 Nirvana cover songs. I think it would be great to cover one of the better cover artists, if not the greatest cover artists of our generation. However, I've done it, I've worked on it, and then I must say, to fully be able to play one of his songs, Kurt's, is not an easy task. And when people want to think that it's easy, they have no idea, I think, at the subtle intricacies, but more importantly, the fact that that dude used blues in his music like, so he messed, like, you can't ever really copy him. If you know what I'm saying, you might. But there's some technicalities that I'm going to have to actually work on. I put language by November because I'm imagining that when I'm on Saturday Night Live, other than writing for Lauren and the family, I am going to have time on my hands, but I'm going to be stuck in an office. So from my perspective, September, November, it's going to be one of those crazy chaotic times. And I feel like at that point, having a foreign language in my belt and being able to kind of slightly converse, it might be useful. And I can't see the future yet, but I can tell you, I think personally that I'm gonna get back in touch with some of my French Moroccan friends and surprise them that they'll be able to actually talk with me a little more. So I'm going with French, just to let you know. And I probably should pick German for business reasons, but I chose French, and I'm gonna stick with it. And more importantly, though, I know, like, I'm grounding myself. So not grounding myself like bad boy, grounding myself like keeping myself grounded. I would like to be able to write and read at a 5th grade French level, and then speak at the bare minimum conversational French, and that would be my intent. And the workout I put by April, because April, as you know, what I said in the beginning of this video, is my new year. And I think it would be a phenomenal thing for me to show myself that no matter how terrible I feel about the past and about the year and just in general, everything, that I achieved something that I've been meaning to do for the last 2.5 years now. Since I was on track. Then I got hit by that car. Getting hit, yeah, that changed me. It changed my life. It made me have to do things differently. And now that I've got the second surgery under the belt and my arm is back, for the most part, I have no excuses to not be doing what I was doing. So that's that. And then the final thing that I alluded to, and I'm going to tell you right now, is that by May, I'm going to sell one art piece. Now, granted, I just wrote art thing. And the reason I did that is because while I have been drawing again, and while I do have intent to do this thing that I'm not going to say shit about, you can ask me in a private message and I'll tell you, but I'm not going to say it on the video. In the off chance that certain people, Chris Red maybe, are watching, I don't want them to not be surprised when I share it with them, But I could very well just sell one of my jokes, which I've done in the past. It's $50 a joke. It's not that hard. I mean, inflation, I would imagine a joke's worth more these days, but in reality, if it's good enough for Ronnie to buy a joke, $50 a pop, it's good enough by me to sell a joke, $50 a pop. And, yeah, so it might just be a joke if I'm going to really be perfectly frank, But it could be very well an actual art piece, which is maybe more likely since my jokes are sour lately. Like I said, I've never been meant for stand-up. I am much more meant for improv. And 13 years going... Oh, you know what? One final thing. I went to the ballet. I seen the Nutcracker, the Blanche one, the new one, in Seattle. So the last 2 years he took over. And I enjoyed it. It was good. But it was shortened, it felt. And, they didn't have a lot of the puppetry and pageantry that I enjoyed in the previous one. So... here's to New York and Chicago even, but New York. I look forward to New York. I think there's going to be a lot of things for me to experience. However, that being said, I'm done. I don't want to go past 20 minutes. Y'all been more than kind watching this long, I feel, if you didn't cut forward, But what I'm getting at is that it's aside from everything else. However, I'm definitely going to be going to more ballets. I'm not a huge musical guy. If you watch, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's not that I wouldn't go to a musical. I just am not a big fan, I like music, and I love singing along, but you get what I'm saying. Watch a Disney movie. It's good enough, I just watched Lion King again. Oh my god. Right? Amazing. Timeless piece. I mean, I'm looking forward to the new one, don't get me wrong. It'll be great. Same thing applies to Aladdin, except, God, that's so weird, Will. Like, come on. Oh, tinted blue skin. Okay, cool. Jamie Foxx comes to mind. Just Spider-Man 2, I think it was. Well, whatever. Adventure Spider-Man? I don't remember. Anyway, that's about it. I've been JDK. It's been a pleasure. I love all of you, my future audience, my present audience, whoever is watching. Thank you. I love you all. Granted, it's a love. It's the same love I feel for, the poor person I give a cigarette to, and the little kid crying that I offer help. But you, my audience, I love you. So thank you for watching. And I feel like there's stuff I'm missing, but really, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna head out, go downtown, check this out. New Year's at the Needle, and I'll see y'all in the new year, right? 2019, right? I love y'all. Have a good night, though. This one has been sponsored by Grape Drink. The OG Grape Drink. Jesus blood. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I wasn't sure if I'd get in trouble for drinking on film or not. I'm over 21, though, so I know, right? Don't look it. I love y'all. Oh, still playing 76, too. Peace.